Welcome back. I've been wanting to do a video on this topic for some time, but held off due to the various videos that came out about this new format, Internet Blood Sports. I've also decided to observe it a bit more closely and gauge people's reactions to it. In general, I will be looking at both the pros and the cons that this new format has brought. Let's begin. So, to start off, let's look at what IBS actually is. Never have I seen anything quite like this on YouTube before. Yes, I've seen multiple streams along with quite a few where fights have broken out or the individual was quote-unquote dogpiled to a degree. I've also seen plenty of debates that really haven't gone anywhere despite one or both sides' efforts. I can't quite say that the idea of IBS itself is a shiny new concept. It's the first that I've seen the actual phrase coined, though. If we look back at the various streams by many of the skeptics or people of the anti-SJW crowd, there are many that could possibly fit into the mold, if not be similar to the format of IBS. As a past participant myself, I define IBS as a neutral stage set to air out grievances as well as bring to light problems that many people have with each other. It ranges from aggressive debates to serious discussions to just your average pissing match, all the way to just poking fun at other people's responses or videos. It's an interesting yet exhausting array of both content and characters that make up the show. There are the main hosts, which consists of Tonkasaw, otherwise known as Grapple Vision, Failure, who has different words attached, Accomplished, Terminated, and is unstoppable, then Vamp Candy, who has been nicknamed the Secretary. There are other hosts that do appear, such as Cognitive Thought, Sinatra Says, AP, and Ghastly. Their particular brand of IBS is called the Kumite, the most popular stage, in my opinion, for Internet Blood Sports. Let's now discuss the positive outcomes that have resulted from this new format becoming the new norm. To start off, it has brought together YouTubers I thought I would never see debate, let alone talk with each other. People like Mr. Mediker, otherwise known as the Internet Aristocat, has become a favorite and has been hanging around the Kumite more often. He's gone up against people such as the Honey Badgers and the Quartering. Let's not forget also AndyWarski, who has also been a host on the Kumite with his own brand of IBS, have brought together people like Sargon of Akkad, Richard Spencer, and Jeffrey Garapi to talk about topics such as white supremacy, the ethno-state, and much more. Both AndyWarski and the Kumite have drawn so many known figures on YouTube and in all sides of the political sphere that both have ended up on the list that monitor hate groups. That in itself has brought both good and negative attention to both channels, painting both with the wrong brush and bringing in bigger crowds. Another pro that I've seen come about from IBS is that it has been revealing people's true colors on YouTube. Who are the shows, who are the cowards, who are the winners, and who are the ones that actually have a spine. With any community in general, a lot of bad-mouthing goes on, or rather talking smack. There's underhanded behavior both shown on YouTube and Twitter among many big and small names. What I feel IBS does is squash that, tearing away any chance for people's shady behavior to be hidden. It exposes the problem, letting both sides air their side of the issue. Everyone gets to see things for what they are, deciding for themselves, which is good. Another thing I like about IBS is the fan interaction. You see so much artwork and memes come out that you can tell that people are enjoying themselves and want to participate in some way. The constant interaction from the host to the crowd is very telling as well. Many super chats are given throughout the stream at mainly the Kumite or AndyWarski. I've seen a lot of money thrown their way, and it shows that the crowd wants this new format to stay and that they are willing to pay for it. The Kumite and AndyWarski charge nothing, but are very much supported by the fans and interacted with. The super chats allow the fans to speak their minds and having it read out loud by one of the hosts. The timing isn't always perfect as they can be shoved towards the end, but that's all part of the show, it just depends on how the discussion is going. Either way, the crowds are loving how IBS is set up, and viewing for each stream has well over 1,000, perhaps more, depending on who's on for that day. Now, let's discuss the rotten side of this coin, shall we? With every positive, there's a negative. With every push, there's a pull. With how big IBS has blown up in general, along with my personal participation in it, I've lost the support of some while pulling my support from other people. True, this new format has shown people for what they are and exposed many, but that in itself has been a major pain. Obviously, not everyone is for IBS, and that's perfectly fine, but just the amount of snubbing or bickering that has resulted from this is really quite bothersome. Those who have bigger channels such as Jeff Holiday, Monday Matt, along with A few others do nothing but moan over how IBS is not the proper way to do things, or is equivalent to petty drama. Heck, Holiday himself has linked in his delusions the Kumite to school shootings. I understand that IBS may not be everyone's cup of tea. Also, whether people are willing to admit it or not, there's a touch of jealousy when it comes to just how big IBS has made people like Tonka Saw and grown the audiences of others such as Warski, Sinatra, Gulf City. The list goes on in a short span of time. Many of the big skeptics themselves have become considered old hat or seeming more irrelevant as time progresses by the crowds. This too has stirred up trouble. There is a negative effect when showing up for an IBS match. Your very appearance can lose you support and viewership depending on your performance, who you come in with, or who goes up against you. It can also lose you support if you fail to appear after being caught stirring up trouble or drama. That is an exhaustion trait to IBS itself. Due to the popularity of the popular stages such as the Kumite, many people have started up unnecessary fights or drama just to get a slot. Getting a fake fight, or not really a serious one, can really tank the views for that day and make the crowd very hostile. I've seen quite a few bigger names turn on each other, YouTubers who I thought I would never see fighting. People like Ranting Monkey bumping heads with Tonka, or Prince of Queens fighting with Cognitive Thought. Yes, not everyone are friends, and I personally don't remember seeing these type of people fighting like they do now. I know I don't catch everything, but still, a rift has been created further in the anti-SJW community with more than obvious lines drawn. There are people who have remained neutral, staying far away, or just enjoying themselves quietly in the crowd. I myself don't watch all the matches, as they do get mentally draining to sit through each and every one, but I have caught particular matches that I've wanted to see. Regardless, it has brought about a certain toxicity to where most people are only interested in seeing the participants tear each other down versus coming to an actual resolution or coming to a better understanding. There's also been a sense of entitlement that has sprung up with many people trying to grab the host's attention. Also, there's a fight over their wrenches. For those of you who do not know, during a live stream, you have chosen individuals whose name is in blue with a small wrench icon. Those are mods for the chat and chosen by the owner of the channel being streamed on. They're highly coveted, especially when it comes to the Kumite. Tonka has had to address the wrench issue quite a few times already due to people becoming really pissy or obnoxious attention seekers when not dubbed with one. Thankfully though, I do believe the problem has died down, as I've seen many polls done by failure as to who gets wrenched. These polls are voted on by the public, of course, and the most favored user in that selected set is wrenched. Another problem I've seen is overflare of egos from multiple people. Yes, IBS stages such as Warski and the Kumite are indeed shows, and some things are done for the entertainment value to keep the crowd entertained. But some of the attitudes I've seen expressed are really a turnoff. Now, I'm not going to sit here from my pulpit and claim that I'm innocent in the slightest way, as my ego has flared up quite a few times, stealing low blows and giving into the ruckus of things instead of actually dealing with the issue at hand. It comes with the territory of IBS for the most part, though it's not always the case, and as I've stated before, serious discussions can be had in quite a calm manner. Internet blood sports as a whole has had both good and negative effects on people altogether. Do I think this format needs to go? No. I personally have enjoyed the various results it has brought while scoffing at some of the other effects. And if I dare say, I'm starting to see this format of IBS trickle in other communities or circles of YouTube. Another stage that is starting to gain traction is that of BYBS, or backyard blood sports. When done right, IBS can get a lot of things done and a lot of ground covered. Something to note too when it comes to this format, for the most part, many of the hosts are likable and bring their own type of energy. I myself will not be able to pull something such as IBS off due to my personality and fatigue. You do need an entertaining and charismatic character to host one of these and to do so successfully. Can these personalities get carried away? Yes, and have done so. To do something like IBS day after day does take a lot of mental energy too, and you have to be willing to deal with a lot of people all the time. Another thing to which I'm not willing, nor have the energy to do. Socially, I'm not very energetic and I don't care to be. It's too much hoopla for my liking. I will gladly sit in the crowd watching the matches that interest me though, throwing some money explain to the host if I'm able to or really want to say something. With IBS, I do think this type of format needs to be looked at thoroughly and given a fair chance. It's not for everyone, which, like I said before, is perfectly fine. It can be a strange brew, but one that many have come to enjoy, and from what I understand, part of their morning routine. I feel it has done a great deal of good while at the same time bringing in a lot of trouble. But that's how show business is for you. That's all I have to say on this matter for now. I will put links in the description to the 3 stages mentioned. Decide for yourselves and share your thoughts down below. I'll see you in the next one.